Hey, it's Wednesday, which means it's time for Glue Wednesday. Who will be my first viewer? If you're looking at this, hey Marquise. Oh, good to see you. Welcome aboard. All right. Marquise, where did we meet? Have what your I'm seeing a blurred picture there. You see, before we start at 12, I could do the little shout outs. Jefferson, homeboy, what's happening? All right, move. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, welcome aboard, y'all. We'll be starting at noon, but yeah, I always get on early and let Facebook do its building an audience thing. And so, in the process of doing that, I get to do some shout outs to people. Gerald, happy birthday! Happy birthday, fam! Yeah, you know it. You know it. It's always good to see us, man. Family for a long time. We've been in this game called life, LIFE, lessons intended for everyone. We've been in for a long time. Okay, we got less than a minute and we're gonna get started. So but yeah, it's good to see y'all. And you know what, even think about it, as you prepare, whenever you're delivering a message, if ever a situation comes where you're gonna be a speaker at something, we always hear the cliche about how it doesn't matter whether there's 220 or 200 people, we have the same message. Hey, Marquise again, you have to let that be true. You can't let your energy die based on the number of people that are listening to you, because life is always about the quality of our audience and the quality of our existence more so than the quantity. So if you only feel that you can be effective or appreciated because you've got a lot of people in the audience, you're actually totally mistaken. The more people you have in the audience, actually the percentage of your being effective goes down, because there's so many different communication styles. The more communication styles you have in the audience, hey Ernestine, the more communication styles you have in your audience, I really don't want to say the less chance, but technically the less chance you have of reaching everybody. Which, P.S. by the way, should never be your goal when you're speaking. Never make it your goal to reach everyone. A lot of times, even if it's a volunteer situation or a career day or something like that, we say, or going to a conference, we say, oh, if I could just reach one person. And then we get there and we try to reach everybody. In the process of trying to reach everyone, you will reach no one. Because the truth is, we always have one of my most consistent messages, and one you hear today, is that we have to choose our messengers carefully, and we have to recognize that we are a messenger, but we're not everyone's messenger. Someone will not accept what your message and what your life means, because they don't see how it correlates to what's going on in their life. And that should not be something that makes you feel like you've been a failure as a messenger. Your job, Jesus said throw the seeds. He didn't say aim them. And in fact, and he guaranteed that all of the seeds that you throw will not take root. Guaranteed, and in fact, guaranteed it twice. Because the first part of the guarantee is that some of the seed will fall upon dry or rough ground and germinate not at all. Some will fall on ground that's wrapped in between thorns, and so as they bloom, the thorns will cut them off, and therefore, in effect, they never really were of any use or any good. So recognize that you're not everybody's messenger. Take that weight off your shoulder. That's the most important way for you to be successful when you're speaking to a group, even in a meeting or with coworkers, even in a family discussion, even as you pray, say your grace at the dinner table. It's always got to be about, what do I believe in? Who am I? As I deliver my message, the person who's supposed to receive my message will receive it. I have no idea who it is. Countless times, let me tell you, I have people come up to me after I speak and they say, oh wow, I feel like you were speaking to me. You have no idea how you just helped me. And I always say to them, yes I do. I said, I have an idea. I didn't know that it was you I was supposed to meet or reach. But I know that I came to reach somebody, because I know that God sent me. I'm talking about our journey today. And see, I know that on my journey, God has assigned me to be a messenger to certain people. He hasn't told me who all the people are. So I have to meet the people as I go forward. And that's really what we do in life. We meet the people who we are sent here to minister to and nurture as we go forward. Think about, I love you parents. Think about it. You didn't choose your children. You found out who your children are at birth. Not even in pregnancy, you found out at birth. And then not even at birth, you found out through maturity. As they started to develop, you start putting characteristics, especially if you have multiple kids, you start putting characteristics on different children. You say, oh, well, that one is this way, and and she doesn't like doing that. He doesn't like eating that. You start to see who you're the messenger for. And so, again, I'm not going to tell you parents, look, this is what you need to do. But let me tell you, we've all been a child, and we all know that we got away with some stuff that if our parents had pushed a little harder, we would have done it. We said, I don't want to do that, and sometimes the parents gave up too fast and let us have our character development, and therefore we didn't do something, whereas, and my mother was not that good at that, by the way. I said, well, I don't like eating that. She said, well, you eat that or you'll starve. So, a lot of times I laugh when I hear parents say, oh, he doesn't like green beans. Oh, she doesn't like to eat rice. And my mother was like, you eat what I put on that plate. Now, in the process of doing that, you have to find out what you're allergic to. We didn't get to just not like how it tasted. This was the food. Nourishment is always not going to taste good to you. Sometimes when you are being nourished, it's being taught and it's being pulled forward. And it's not always going to be agreeable to your palate. So, and the thing is, don't we want to grow? Don't we want to be nurtured? Don't we want to learn? It's not always going to be easy. I did a post the other day, I think it was yesterday, in fact, but it said, it's tough being you. It's not easy being you. And are you giving yourself enough credit for what it takes to be you? Because you already did what it took to be you, but now it's an ongoing process. Are you giving yourself credit for what it takes to be you? Because there's plenty of people who can't handle your situation or deal with what you've dealt with. And there are no small or minor situations. The situation's grandiosity is based on who you are and how you feel about yourself as a person. Because something that you may think is little may be huge to someone who has less means than you. That's the grace that you have. Are you taking the time to give yourself credit for that grace? So so again, as I say, welcome to Glue Wednesday. And the reason I call it Glue, if this is your first time with me, is because so many people say Wednesday is hump day. We use a lot of cliches and I like hump day. But to me, hump has the inference that you're getting over. And I see Wednesday as the middle of the week, the day that keeps the beginning and the end of the week together. So that's why I call it glue. Wednesday is the glue. And when I'm dealing with glue, I'm not worrying about getting over. I'm thinking about keeping it together. And what keeps it more together than me, for me, is GLUE. God's love undoes everything. God's love undoes everything. In other words, not that God separates things, but any trials and tribulations that I may be going through or think I'm going through, God's love will get me through. Because first of all, through is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You say, I'm going through this. I'm not stuck. This is not the end for me. I'm going through. So start to see that Wednesday, because you have to find a way to put some positivity in your life to make it through each time. It's not going to come through me. There's a misnomer that my title on my business card or a website or other speakers are a motivational speaker. I'm an inspirational speaker. Motivation is internal. If you get a boring tax, somebody who's up there boring telling you about how to do your taxes, and they say, and you add line 13 to line 14, you'll get line 16 as you drop down, and that will be your tax. And then line 17 will be your refund for the year. If you see, when you add those lines up and you see that your refund is going to be XYZ, something that you really want, and you go on and file it, guess what? That person just motivated you. Because it's the results that you get that lead you to down your motivational path and trail, because it's always about what you want. Don't you hear all people always say, what's in it for me? Everybody's favorite radio station, right? WWIFM. What's in it for me? As you find out what's in it for you, you create the motivation. You're the one that gets up every morning and decides to go to work. Don't get up and say, oh man, another day at that job. Well, you chose the job. Or the job chose you. It's a step in your career and your destiny and your journey. So don't go with an attitude of disliking an avocation that has been chosen for you. It's God has ordered your steps. We like to hear that gospel song, "Order my steps in your word, sweet Lord." Well, they've been ordered. So therefore, as they've been ordered, your job is to walk the steps. So what I did is I'm going to use my four P's for walking your journey, and each of them is a different acronym. The first one is PACE, P-A-C-E, and you'll find these in my book, Ac-Firmations, and I call it Ac-Firmations because it's AC, they're acronyms, and formations, they're affirmations. That if we say these things, we speak a positive vocabulary into our spirit, because words go into our spirit. So as you speak positivity into yourself, and this is again where I say to you, I'm not motivational but inspirational. I get to be motivational if you do it, but it's really about you. So as I'm not going to always be here for you. You're not going to always be able to log in and pull up my YouTube and walk around reading and saying, what do I have to do? You have to make that decision. Please start giving yourself that credit for the decisions that you make, which is the first P, PACE, P-A-C-E. Pleased about choices and empowerment. Pleased about choices and empowerment. That's what I'm saying. You have made a lot of tough decisions. Be pleased about the choices that you made. We focus a lot on the what we call the bad choices that we made, but we don't focus enough on the good choices you made. Have you stopped and given yourself a pat on the back? And the choices that you made, whatever you did, come on, start to look back at your life and have no regrets. The path not chosen was not for you. Period, point blank. If you spend your time mired in regret and you say, oh man, if I hadn't have done this, things would be different for me. Hello, if you hadn't have done this, you might be dead. I don't have a real nice analogy for you, okay? Because the point of the fact is, you're still alive. So if you are looking back on every decision that you make, you have to realize that your journey has always been about you living and surviving. So if you had taken another path, if you had married a different person, gotten a different job, dated a different person, if you had played on a different team, there's a good chance that something would have happened that could have taken your life. Because that person or that thing or that situation that you were involved with would have put you in a position or place at a time that would could have been your demise. Because guess what? God has already figured that out. So he put you on the path that you're on. Enjoy your path and recognize your pace. Be pleased about your choices and your empowerment. Choose your messengers carefully. Now, the empowerment part is because you have to, I always say choose your messengers carefully, but bam, check this out. Recognize that you are a messenger too. And so therefore, if you choose who you're giving your message to, think about it. If somebody wants a messenger service, what do? They call up the messenger service, and say, I need a message delivered. So if you call up an irreputable messenger firm to get your message delivered, what's going to happen? The wrong message is going to get delivered, and it's going to cost you. So you go by reputation. You decide whether to choose FedEx over UPS over the U.S. Postal Service. Those are your messengers. And when you give, so you are empowering somebody to carry your message and your belief. So that's why you have to know what you believe. So and so who you choose as your messenger will have a domino effect and feed into the message that you're delivering so that you can have it delivered. Guess who that biggest messenger is? It's you, but guess what? It's your children. Your children are watching you. They're your messengers. And if you don't have maternal children, it's still your nieces, your nephews, somebody in your building that looks up to you. It's your coworkers, it's your team. Somebody else is carrying your message to someone else. When you think about what exterminators do, what do? They try to infect one of the insects to take it into the nest and kill the rest of the people, the rest of the insects in there, which is similar to what goes on in our world. We sent, like they say, one bad apple don't spoil a whole bunch, but yes, it does. That one bad person infiltrates, one double spy infiltrates, and as they get in, they start to let everybody know in the culture, this person is this way, and then that's how you create a revolution. Revolution is created from the inside, never from the outside. So choose your messages carefully and recognize that you are sending someone to deliver your message, so your pace is important. Pace is also placing actions carefully and effectively. Placing actions carefully and effectively. In other words, self-care. Come on, take care of yourself. Because you have to make sure that when your message is delivered, it's delivered with the full health and peace of mind. You know, like Will says, I being in stable mind. You know, when you place your message, you have to be in your right state of mind. So come on, y'all, get some rest. You have to take care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually. Rest, refresh, and realize that you actually only compete with yourself. You don't compete with other people because you don't know what they're going through or what they've been through. So how can you actually compete with them when you only see the surface statistics that define who they are, when they would be glad to tell you, just as you'd be glad to tell someone else, that doesn't define who I am. I'm deeper than that. And so compete with yourself to be better than you were last time. I'm in one of my groups I'm in a Toastmaster group, and a lot of you, I thank you. You congratulated me on becoming the president of my group as Friendship Toastmasters. Man, we got a dynamite group. And you know what we do? When we evaluate, there's a section of the meeting called an R counter. And R like AH, when somebody said, you know, so, you know, we count those. And at the end of the meeting, we tell them how many times they said that. Those are called word fillers, which I call silence fillers, because we're not always comfortable in silence. And we tell them if they said so 22 times, we don't say you said it a lot. We said you said it 22 times. Why? Because the next time their goal can be to say it 21. Because they're competing against themselves to be better each time. Then after they reach 21, they can make their goal 15. Then they can make their goal 10. And that's what you do. Keep giving yourself a goal. Get the truth from your real friends, from the right messengers, so that you can find out to appropriately compete with yourself to be better than you were the last time. Because that's what a pace is all about. And then the next pace is patiently allowing and cultivating empathy. Patiently allowing and cultivating empathy. In other words, one thing I never say is, see, you know, I haven't been in your shoes or in your seat, but I've been in your row. Because the thing is, we all have some stuff going on in our life. That we have empathy. So be patient with and allow yourself to be empathetic. Shut up and listen to what somebody is saying. It's the #1 communication skill, by the way, is listening. So, you know, be quiet and listen to what someone is saying. And don't do what I call, some people do what I call listening for the period. Listening for the period means you're listening to hear that someone's finished what they're saying because you disagree with their opening statement. So all you want to hear now is that they're finished so that you can jump in and say what you do or do not agree with. And in the process of doing it, have you ever been in that situation where when you did that and someone said, well, that's what I said? And that, you know, it's because we disagree with one portion that we didn't listen to the whole message. One of my favorite sportyism, and it's actually only sportyism #2. Listen to the paragraph, not the sentence. Allow people to finish what they're saying before you judge the content of what they're saying. And that's where we build empathy. When we listen to what someone's saying and we say, does this apply to me? In fact, at our Toastmasters meeting, we had Calvin Duncan as our regional representative to go compete in the World Championship of Public Speaking. And he came to our club and practiced one of his speeches. And his first speech was about being bullied. And he was being bullied for what? He was being bullied for the color of his skin because he was dark, black, as sometimes like say blue-black, you know. And so he talked about how he was bullied and ridiculed about being dark. One of our evaluators got up, Martha, and got up and she said, you know what, I understand where you're coming from. I was bullied for, and then she gave another reason of why she was bullied. In other words, she wasn't bullied for the same reason as he was, but it made her see that something that was happening to her was similar to what happened to him. That's empathy, y'all. If we listen to everybody else's message, we can see, no, I haven't been in your shoes. I don't know what it's like to be bullied because of the darkness or the texture of my skin, but, or, you know, or my gender or my race, my beliefs. But, wow, I can compare that to when someone discriminated or looked at me differently because of my religion, because of my speech. You know, and so that's what you do as a speaker also, P.S., by the way, is you take people on a trip, on a journey. This is about journey. You take them on a journey where they can see themselves, you know, through your eyes. They can say, wait a minute, I see what you're saying, and now I see me. And that applies to me. Now I got the self-motivation to take action. See where I'm just inspirational and you're the motivation? So keep thinking that, giving yourself credit for that stuff, okay? So patiently allow and cultivate empathy. Allow yourself to listen to what someone else has gone through and then see how it works for you. And you can share your experience or not, but at least you can share it with yourself. The next P is for path. Because on our journey, we do have a path. And so for me, path is P-A-T-H. Praise all that you hear. Praise, so the emphasis is on you. Praise all that you hear. In other words, we're still choosing our messengers carefully, but especially choose your messengers and hear, especially be careful of the message that you get secondhand. Be careful of the message that you get secondhand. Praise everything you hear. You should praise it because there's another lesson. Oh, this is another lesson that God is sending me. But who are you hearing it from? So make sure that you know, if you know the validity and the quality of the messenger, then you believe in the message as well. So we would rather be the one that hear it, but in case we're not going to be the one that's going to hear it, who we get it from secondhand should still make us say, that's the good message. Because I got it from, I know who I got it from. We always do, what do you do on a job application? You put your references. And you know, and everybody in your life, they could be your friend, but you wouldn't use them for a reference. And so, you know, that's, again, there's one of those analogies of how you got to look at things. So, you know, so praise all that you hear, but make sure that you hear from the right person. Path is also your pilot always takes you home. Your pilot always takes you home. P-A-T-H, path. And whenever someone is going on a trip, I always say, you know, they say, oh, pray for me, I'm getting ready to fly to so-and-so. I say, well, you know what? I'll pray for the pilot, you know, knowing who your true pilot is. Because if the pilot on the airplane has a good flight, guess what? Everybody has a good flight. No matter how rough the flight is, as long as it takes off and lands where you need to go, P.S., by the way, that was a good flight. So recognize that your pilot always takes you home. And in fact, when I look at where am I on path, recognize that the saying is not few weapons formed against me will prosper. It's no weapon formed against me. That's what your pilot does. He says no weapon formed against you will prosper. And it's also not many things work for the good of God. It's all things work for the good of God. See, so your pilot is always taking you home. And a lot of times we'll hear people, you know, in fact, you know, I get scripture on you every now and then, but when Jesus was telling his disciples that he had to go to Jerusalem to be crucified, when he told them that, because he'd been telling them that from the start, as he was on his journey, pacing himself on his path, he said to them, look, here's why we're going. Now that we've come this far and you've seen some of the things that I've done and things that I've asked you to do, and you've done some of them, now let me tell you why you are doing them, because you're about to become my messenger. In other words, is what he was saying. You're about to carry my message because I'm about to be out of here on the books. So we have to go to Jerusalem so that this can happen to me. Well, his disciples like, oh, whoa, wait. You're going to get crucified in Jerusalem? Let's not go to Jerusalem. Let's go to Detroit. let's not go there if something bad is going to happen. Let's go somewhere safe. And then what did Jesus say? He turned around, he said, Satan, get behind me. In other words, he said, look, excuse me, disciples, this is my journey. This is my destiny. There's a separate one for you. But I've got to get out of the way so that you can start on your journey. Right now, you're working with me on mine. P.S. By the way, your support system is so important on your journey. You have to pick the right people that push you up and help you go forward on your journey. The right person starts with you because they're not going to follow you if they don't think your journey is worth following. Okay, back to our story. So the thing is, he said, my journey, my destiny says that this is what I'm going to have to do. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, aren't we all walking toward death? The end of life, if you don't want to use the term death, that's everybody's goal. Everybody wants to get older. We hope that we die of natural causes at an old, ripe age. And so that's the thing. So you're on your journey. Stop. Give yourself credit. Any of you who are on this broadcast, if you're 20, if you're 30, if you're 40, if you're 50, whatever age you are, you know someone that didn't make it to that age. Someone personally in your life, P.S. by the way. So how are you not stopping to be thankful that you've made it that far and giving yourself credit for some of those choices that you made, that's what got you that far. And now when you recognize that your pilot had them choices there for you to make and take, and you took them, another reason to give yourself credit. And be thankful. Stop, get some rest, refresh, and realize and recognize that you're on a good path. No weapon formed against you will prosper. So make sure that you're on your path. Patience. We got two more. Patience, P-A-T-I-E-N-C-E. Preparing for a testimony in every negative challenge or experience. Preparing for a testimony in every negative challenge or experience. In other words, are you really patient with yourself? Really be patient with yourself. Or are you still comparing your achievement to keeping up with the Joneses, who, by the way, are falling behind the Smiths? Okay, so don't worry about keeping up with the Joneses because they're falling behind the Smiths. Make sure that you're competing with yourself. Make sure that you are patient with where you are. A lot of people like to say, well, I'm where God wants me to be. But then they're upset. I say, I'm where God wants me to be, and I'm totally fine with it. And I'm going to be fine with it in another few minutes because I recognize that this is my pace and my path. And I just have to continue to be willing to go through the challenges and experiences that help me navigate what the next step is. And I may get that next step from you, but guess what? You would therefore be inspiring me to get it because I would have to motivate myself to get it. Because I've chosen you as a reliable and a resourceful and a quality messenger. See how it all comes together? It does start with you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's all about you. Yes, it is. Because once you take care of yourself, you can take care of everybody else around you. You can't help anybody until you help yourself, and you can't help anybody that doesn't want your help. So take that time and have patience with yourself and recognize that challenges are experiences. Haven't you stepped up before? Haven't you? Well, stop and give yourself credit for the things that you stepped up and handled it. There were situations that you didn't think you could handle, and you stepped up and you gave it. So give yourself credit for having that patience. And the last P is for peace. P-E-A-C-E. Placing eternity above chaos and evil. Placing eternity above chaos and evil. When you know where you're going, relax and get there. How strong, in other words, how strong is your faith? How strong? Is your faith really strong? And that goes back to that self-care. Are you taking care of yourself? Because if you're taking care of yourself, that means that your faith is strong. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, 365, 24/7, not. I am not up every single day, every single moment, every single hour, every day of the year. Okay, 365, 24/7. I'm not up. But I'm up more than I'm down. I'm positive more than I'm negative. I'm going forward more than I'm going backwards. And that's because I'm at peace. with who I am. I have placed eternity above chaos and evil. All the nonsense that's going on in our world, it's part of the deal. Whether you like it or not, that's really not that important. You can dislike every politician, every athlete, every movie star. You can dislike them all. Every person, every coworker, anybody that comes into your life, you can choose to dislike them. But that's part of the chaos that is a part of living sometimes, because we're justified in deciding, well, I don't want this person in my life. We don't even need to not like them. We just need to recognize that this person is not who I need in my life for me to get where I'm going, because I have to be my messenger, and I have messengers, I have seeds that I'm responsible for germinating. So be at peace with who you are and where you are. Recognize that your journey is one that is a destiny that nobody else can fulfill. We need you to be who you are. I need you. You know, everybody is an important piece of the puzzle. Please claim your piece of the puzzle, because whether you see yourself as a small, medium, or large piece of the puzzle, without you, the puzzle is called incomplete. And that's always my top message. Take care of you. How you feel affects other people, and how other people feel affects your business. And you're in the business of life and the business of saving lives. You can put that on your resume. You save lives. Parents, you brought a child into this world. Everybody else who you haven't, have you ever given donated money to a worthy cause or volunteered your time? You've saved a life. Put it on your resume. We are lifesavers. And that's what we want to do. So on your journey, recognize that you have to have perfect peace. And think, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post on this broadcast a poem that I wrote, it just came to my mind, called On Our Journey. Because we are not alone. It just reminds us we can't do it alone. We need one another. So I thank you for being on the broadcast. I look forward to seeing you next week. Please go to my website, sportyking.com, and support me wonderfully. The acronyms that I gave are from this book, Ac-Firmations. And it's a great gift, and it's also something you can use when you just need to look up a theme for something. You can find an acronym and use it as a theme. I'll have this as a live broadcast on YouTube. Even though you're watching it on Facebook Live, please go to YouTube and click and subscribe so that I can have more subscribers on my channel. I'm learning how we need to do that. The more subscribers I have, then what happens is my site becomes one that becomes a usable one for monetization, where people will buy ads and help take my message even further. So thanks again for keeping it together here on Glue Wednesday, Glue. God's love undoes everything. And on your journey, you must have pace on your path and patience with your peace. Even without those acronyms, that holds true. This is Sporty King. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Ciao. You know, all y'all, shout outs to everybody. Rhonda, Renee, hey, Latrina, good to see y'all. Okay, yeah, we met each other. Okay, Tommy, welcome back. Okay, you know what? Wait, this is our extra time, y'all. Let me just go down and say something to anybody that's got a question, because I'm going to actually type in answers. Much love for you, life changing. Thank you, Latrina. You're going to have to teach me how to pronounce it, Latriana. All right, and hey, what's up, Tommy? Good morning to you. Kwame, family, good to see you. Neon Johnson. Oh, okay, I know you, Neon, but it's not coming to me right now. Okay, April, what's up, Cuzzo? And Medina, always glad to see you again. And I've been, checking out some of those posts you're doing on Instagram. Looking good. Keep it up. And again, Gerald, I just got to give one more shout out to my brother and my homeboy, Gerald Jones, celebrating 62. I'm on my way. I'm going to hit it next month. That's my goal in August. God bless you all, and see you soon. Ciao.